Alright, today we have a half euro with the cam pre-removed. This is a Vachette VPI Plus. So French lock. It's not as horrifying as it looks. That's all just passive pin positions. A remarkably flat bitting. This nifty overhanging piece, which interacts on this front bit here. And, if you can see that, a rather horrific keyway. It's actually slightly less bad than it looks like. The top pins do nest into this piece of warding, but you can still fit a pick down the side and lift on the side of the pins just fine. So that's what we're going to be doing. And they don't have any security pins, they're just standard, and this front thing is connected. So here's the key. Key goes in, lock works, and that overhang pushes on that front piece down. Not entirely sure what the function is, and as you'll see when I'm picking it, it doesn't make any difference to pick resistance. It just seems to set itself. I don't know if that's just on this lock or if they normally behave like that, but yeah, it didn't seem to be a problem. The hard part though is getting onto the pins because the keyway is very tight. It's a very narrow window between being on the pin and just hitting warding. It can be hard to tell which is which. Alright, there's one set. Two maybe. Yeah, the real hard part is just actually getting onto the pins. It's very hard to tell what's a pin and what's warding. Let's just try that again. Reset, try again. There are like serrations on these key pins, so if you overlift them, which it's easy to do when you can't feel anything about what you're doing, then they get stuck and they stay stuck. Okay, tiny bit of core rotation signifies it's time for pin 1. And there we go. So that did take a little while. Again, it's purely because it's really hard to feel when you're even on those pins. The tiniest bit of side flex one way or another, or not quite lined up, and you just get nowhere. So yes, all of the difficulty this is in the keyway. This front bit, you see I never touched that, and lock opened fine, so as you can see. So let's cut this, which is by mission on itself. You'll see I already removed this cam piece, so this came together like this. So it's got this like geared mechanism, so this bit locks in like this, and that sticks out to the back like so, which is fine, and then stuff obviously operates onto that piece. But it means this back hole is actually a smaller diameter than the main plug, which means you can't just push a follower through the whole thing. And that assembly at the back is also spring loaded. So that means even though it's only €0.50, you still have to use segmented followers, which is really extremely annoying. Makes you want to consider turning this into a really €0.50, just chopping off this back piece, but I'm not going to do it. Once I've got this back reassembled, I suspect we already got it, that I will never cut it again. Okay, C-clip is off. Let's get a key. I see this came with 3 keys. Alright, lock that back up. Turn and push. Now we're just going to turn to about 45 degrees. Get segmented followers, which are just the most annoying thing ever to use. But anyway, I know I've got to be a bit careful with this front piece. Well, I will show you what that does in a minute. So we've got this sort out. Slide another one in. So I've got to use this little one to like push them along. Third one isn't strictly necessary. Oop. Oop. Okay. Alright, perfect. That's those. Let's put that down. Alright, so we can see. Let's just pull these rear pins out first. 5. Oh, come on. 4. 3. There's a little bit of manufacturer's grease in this, which, oops, upsetting things. That's why they're sticking so badly. All right, so this front piece, get the key out. Actually, has a pin. Oops, I lost the master wafer for it. It's one of these. Must be that one. It's not that one, but whatever. So that has a pin. Oh no, I haven't. Click up. You just pulled the key out. That's why it looks smaller. Anyway, so yes, there's a normal pin stacked in there, but then this whole front piece is spring loaded, so it moves up and down. But, as I'll show you in the core, there's really nothing for that to get stuck on. It just sort of pushes itself around, like it self-sets. So I don't really understand why that's there, but this piece comes off, and as you see, 2 tiny little springs. So just put those to the side there, and then we'll get our key pins number 1. So this is the core without that piece in. So some spots for drill protection, but it didn't have any. Nothing special in those other than this piece cut out. Better look at that horrific keyway. Don't mind the sounds of that in the background, and you can see slots for a lot of passive pins, which I've pulled out at the moment just because they fall out all over the place when you're cutting it if you're not careful. So didn't want to lose them all, so I've got them aside. I'll put them back in when I reassemble this eventually. The key pins are a bit interesting. So they've all got this tiny little nub on the bottom, which falls into that warding, and then they're like serrated, almost like a barrel on them. So they will get stuck if you overset them. But to make life easier, on this one at least, every single chamber has a master wafer on it, which is why this key is so damn flat. So that does make it a bit easier. But again, the difficulty is not in setting the pins. The difficulty, or the bitting really, it's just in getting around that keyway. So let's, all these drivers are exactly the same. So we're just going to speed gut that. Pull this back out now. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 with a whole mess of springs. Pretty nice long springs. Seems like it's got pretty good tolerances on this lock too. So I suspect it's not just that annoying warding, but also the good tolerances, that even though they're only standard. And then you can see where that piece here, which I don't even know what to call this thing, would interact going around. Like there's a little groove there. But yeah, there's nothing this way for it to catch on. So it just self-sets. And these channels down here are just for the passive pins to retract into. So that's that. I'll get you a close-up of these. And then I get the fun of trying to put it back together again. Obviously, half these are upside down. This one actually on the ends got a bit of a deeper spool channel on it. But there you go. That is the Vachette VIP Plus. The only difference between the Plus and the regular one is this front piece. You can find the Vachette VIP. There's quite a few videos on those. Mostly by French people, which makes sense, but they don't have this front thing. So only the Plus has that front thing, and as far as I could find, there were no videos on the VIP Plus. So I think this is a first, but like I said, it's not a particularly difficult lock. It's really just that keyway. If this front bit did something, that might make it more difficult, but really just don't understand what the point of that is. So if anyone has an insight onto what that might be for, I was thinking maybe anti-bump something, but I'm just not sure. Let me know. Anyway, thanks for watching.